Hi everyone and welcome to my first Diablo Immortal video. Yesterday I got a chance to try it out for the first time, playing the technical alpha here. I've been leveling a demon hunter to level 29. The maximum level right now is 45 and in the end game I believe it's going to be 60, but it's limited right now. But overall the game is actually running pretty well. So I have a tablet here, I'm not playing it on the phone. And I have a pretty scuffed streaming setup, so there's a bit of delay and the quality is not as good. What I can say is that it looks much better and it feels much more smooth than what you see here, so just keep that in mind. I will have to wait until I get my capture card to actually stream through the PC properly. Anyway, so you might have a lot of questions about the game and I will try to answer some of them. And first of all, I have to say that the game actually feels pretty good. So I was not really interested in phone games in my life. And the maximum that I've played was like Snake on a Nokia, 10 years ago. And I was also worried a bit that I would not really enjoy it. But the thing is, it's actually quite nice. So the controls are very smooth, I have to say. And especially with a tablet, I imagine also with maybe one of the bigger phones, when you have a bit of a bigger screen, it will be very nice. Like everything is very easy to control. For example, you have your skills here on the bottom right, you see those buttons. So this is my generator here, the big button. So you can just hold that down, for example, or you can tap it and keep shooting. And you have other skills that work with like area of effect, like targeting. So here's the multi-shot right now. So you see, you can easily target it. You see like this black circle around the skill now. This is where my finger is. And I just target like this. Or you just tap it and it will shoot in the direction you're facing. Here's like some spike traps that you can throw on the ground, so you just tap it. Here's also like another area of effect skill, Rain of Vengeance. Overall the targeting is very smooth. I didn't expect it to be that well, working that well, but it's very nice. So overall the way you control your character is actually working pretty well. Here on the left side I have my other finger. You see on the bottom left this little circle. This is how I control my movement. You can actually also attack while moving like this. So you can just like hold it down, you can walk backwards, you can strafe around. It's pretty amazing. Overall the gameplay is pretty cool so far as well. I've only been playing through the campaign so far and I haven't really seen much of the endgame. There's systems similar to Nephalem Rifts and Greater Rifts. They're called Elder Rifts and Challenge Rifts. So this is not the Challenge Rift that you know from D3. This is actually like the Greater Rift system. And it also seems to have like its own like little modifications that you can add to get like more loot or more enemies or harder enemies or some other twists that you can add. But so far I haven't really touched that so far. I've just been playing through the campaign. Here's a map, for example. So this is Westmarch where I am right now, which is before it was destroyed, because the setting here is between Diablo 2 and Diablo 3. So here's the world map. You can see there's like a few zones. So I started in Wortham. I went to the Ashwood Cemetery, the Darkwood, and there's like a few more zones that I need to explore now and basically make my way to level 45. And I imagine there's going to be a few more zones later on when you have to go to level 60. The map is really large and apparently there's going to be a lot of expansions, yeah, and apparently they're all going to be for free. So that's pretty nice. Yeah, overall for the pay to win concerns, I guess. So what happens here is you can play anything in the game for free. Everything is free of charge, and that will also include the game itself and also the expansions. What you can buy though, there are like battle passes, and there are also like certain like crafting materials and these kind of things. And it's also like for these rifts you can buy certain I think crests they're called. So they can modify or improve the rewards a bit. So you have like a better chance to get good loot when you run out of these rifts and stuff like this. But yeah, the shop is not available yet. Personally, I'm not planning to spend anything ever on this game. I do like it, but I just want to grind my way through without all these like boosts, I guess. But overall, it seems like it's not really going to be such a big thing if you don't spend anything. So that's pretty nice. And you can just basically access all the content. You can grind your way up, and obviously then some people have a bit of a like faster progression, but in the end they're just cutting their own game time, I guess. So far the game has been quite easy, I'd say. So in terms of difficulty, I would say that it's not really super hard, but this comes from being a veteran Diablo 3 player. I think overall the controls are not really the issue. The monster damage is not really high, at least for the start. It does become harder as I progress, so especially like towards the end of my streaming session yesterday, I had like a really hard boss fight, and also the dungeons become a bit harder. So I imagine that later on in late game you're actually gonna have some trouble when you want to go to the highest difficulties. For now it's like a really smooth entrance when you start the game, and I don't really have any issues. Like, I do a lot of damage. I feel the Demon Hunter seems pretty nice. I've heard the Barbarian is really OP actually, with lots of lifesteal and lots of good skills. I feel like Demon Hunter is also doing quite well, so maybe it's just because I enjoy kiting so much and, you know, dodging and enemy abilities, but overall that seems totally fine. So I can actually show like a run here maybe. This is the Elder Rift entrance. I haven't done this myself so far, but I reached a point in the campaign where I have to do one of these. And you see here that yeah, you get these crests here. You can add up to 3. So this is what I mentioned, you can buy, or you can also find them in the game somewhere. And these are the rewards, some gold, some XP. So overall, also the crafting materials work quite similarly to Diablo 3. You have like these scrap materials, which is like reusable parts, and you can upgrade items a bit. Alright, here we actually have a timer on this. So here's some gameplay in action now. So basically you just blast your way through the rift here. You see my generator is actually doing a lot of damage to this. So I'm not sure if this is intended or so, but it actually is pretty strong. And you'll also recognize that a lot of the enemies are quite similar to Diablo 3, for example. So if you played any kind of Diablo 3, you're gonna recognize a lot of things here that are quite similar. You see those zombies, for example, the same zombies from Act 1. You also find like these Hellions, you find the cultists. So there is definitely a lot of similarities that you can find. There's also like certain elite affixes, for example, that I noticed. For example, there's Warlord elites, there's Arcane Enchanted. So they really took a lot of stuff from Diablo 3 in that regard. And overall, I would say it plays relatively similar. So it's not like, you know, blasting some super endgame build right now, but obviously I'm also just in a leveling phase still. In terms of like overall action, I'd say it's probably a bit more action-packed than the typical Diablo 3 leveling. Like when you're like low level, like level 30 or so, you wouldn't really have like these crazy pulls here and so many skills to use. You have to see that you don't have resources here, at least not on Demon Hunter. Everything is like working with cooldowns. So basically every skin has its own cooldown. I think there's also cooldown reduction they can stack eventually, but the values overall are very small from what I can tell. So it's not really limiting you. So basically you use the generator a bit. You can also stack up like an ultimate skill over time. You can see like this little bar next to my generator that is like slowly getting larger and filling up. And this is gonna be my ultimate skill that enhances my generator for a while. So that's pretty nice to do like some AoE. You find the gold here, you find progress orbs, there's experience orbs. There's even conduit globes that you saw at the start. So yeah, there's also shrines. So everything is very familiar to Diablo 3 players, I'd say. And with like a little bit of a tweak here and there. But you see like the enemies are there. But yeah. Let's see if we can make our way to the boss. The progression bar is actually rising. So we probably reach it in like 2-3 minutes or so. And then the boss fights are actually quite interesting, I feel. Boss fights are yeah, they have a lot of abilities. You have to dodge a bit. They have like multiple phases. So they have like a health bar that that you have to drop. And then after it's depleted, it will start the next phase. And you can see like it has like a little icon to see how many phases it has. You're gonna see that in a moment probably. I think that's pretty cool. The boss fights overall feel pretty amazing here. And mowing down enemies is also pretty cool overall, let's say. I just realized that the massacre ends at 100 kills actually. Okay, ferocious massacre. Maybe there's gonna be more. I definitely had much more than 100 here. Skills in this game don't have runes here, so they do upgrade and as you level, but mostly they just get more damage and they have like some effects. I'm not sure how it is with like legendary items or something that can maybe change them a bit. I haven't really seen all of legendaries so far. Alright, defeat the Rift Guardian. So where is it? Rift Guardian has found it. So here's a boss now. So it's very similar to like Greater Rifts in Diablo 3, I'd say. Now one thing I noticed is like kind of the lack of mobility skills here. There's like one mobility skill I have, which is like I can shoot like a rope and basically jump over enemies with this. It's a bit like walls, but it also deals a bit of damage at the same time. But yeah, overall it doesn't really seem that great, and you have to really move around yourself and try to dodge stuff yourself here. You see now his health bar refilled. This is like the next phase here. It has like this little red icon next to his health bar if you look at the boss here. So this is like 2 phases are done. Yeah, targeting is automatic. So basically it always takes like a close enemy. In my case I try to keep targeting the boss because I have like AoE abilities that will eventually kill all the ads anyway. So that's usually how I do it. And here we go. Good thing is you have auto loot, so you can enable that or you can also disable it, but typically you want to loot everything. There's not really no reason not to, really. Actually, there's a blacksmith spawning here, I didn't know that. I can actually check the loot quickly. So here's the inventory. So there's my character here, you can see these items. So this is how it looks like. We have yeah, damage on the helms, for example. We have life on some armor pieces. So for example, chest and pants, they have life. Here's damage, and it always seems to be like the same, and it kind of like scales with item level, or if you're level, then it has these attributes that also give you some bonuses. And then you can have magic properties there, like damage to beasts, or here's increase all damage you deal after using a movement skill. Obviously these are rather low values right now because I'm low level. I don't really have crazy gear so far. So here's an upgrade, for example, 90 mentality. Typically you go for like the highest values and you don't really care which stat it is. I guess later on maybe we'll learn more about this. But here, for example, this one has 11 fortitude versus 90 vitality. And generally I would just prefer the one with the higher value here. So the 90 vitality we keep. And here's some other stuff. And here's a pretty good weapon I found actually. Look at this, 234 damage. Willpower, crit damage, 2.5%. Wow. Here's like the list of attributes that you can see. So you have strength, and you always get like this offensive and defensive rating and some damage from strength, and fortitude gives you extra armor and armor penetration, and then vitality gives you some life, willpower gives you potency. Intelligence doesn't really seem to do anything on Demon Hunter. I guess for a wizard it might do something. Right now there are 4 classes in the game, which are Barbarian, Demon Hunter, Monk and Wizard. And it's going to be Crusader and Necromancer. So it's going to have all the defeat classes exactly like they are, minus the Witch Doctor. That one's not going to be included for the base game. And here are also all the different stats that you can have. And here's attack speed, cooldown, movement speed, armor piercing, a lot of different things basically. And so then you can just go to the blacksmith. Typically you just salvage all that you don't need. So you just press this button here, boom. And you like stack up these materials here. And you can use those to upgrade your items. I can show you an example of these upgraded items. So we have this one, for example. This one is rank 2, you see it in the top. And the upgrades are the willpower and the fortitude here. These upgrades are actually quite strong, but also quite costly. So this is what I can tell so far. Yeah, so now we can claim the rewards here. I guess yeah, you have like this guide, which is it's called Codex, and basically it's a bit of like a season journey thing. So you progress through the game, and then you get like a little bit of rewards, like a gem or some platinum, battle points, gold, whatever. And there's also like these objectives here, so you basically unlock these things over time, and you always get like a bit of a reward here. So you have a bit of like a goal to pursue, and then you can basically progress your way forward. Yeah, in terms of endgame, so as I mentioned, it's going to have these Elder Rifts, and it's going to have these Challenge Rifts. So I imagine this is going to be most of the endgame. There's also other activities that you can do. So if you go back to the codex here, we have bounties, for example. They make a return, but they're not like only for 4 players and you have to blast like an entire act. It's basically like one objective. You do like one bounty basically, and then you get some rewards for it. Then there's these Elder Rifts. Bestiary, this is something where you just like defeat certain enemies and you basically collect the essence and you like fill up this book. And apparently you get like a reward for basically hunting down all the enemies there are. There's also dungeons, so it's a bit like the rifts, but these are like special story mode dungeons. Maybe in the late game you can also do something special there, I don't know yet. So the dungeons are generally not too long, maybe like 5 to 10 minutes. They usually have a boss at the end and some other objectives that they do inside. So pretty fun, I would say. And there's also like the exploration achievements here. Yeah, so this is what you would do. Basically, for now, it's for me to go through the campaign, get to level 45, and then we blast those rifts here. And there's also like global announcements actually for someone who completes the highest rift the first time or something. So I saw that pop up yesterday. It was like the first challenge with level 30 completed or something by someone. I think that's pretty amazing. And also you can just see, these people walking around here. These are actual players here next to me. Yeah, so that's about it for the first impressions here. So I hope that this gave you a bit of an overview and answered some of your questions. If you have any more, then feel free to drop a comment. I will try to basically cover everything. And also in the coming days, I will play more. I will make more videos, probably showing a bit more of maybe the Demon Hunter, of the rifts, of the end game. So stay tuned for that. I know also that a lot of people might not really want to enjoy this too much on the phone or might have some doubts about it, similar to me. I didn't really expect to enjoy it so much, honestly. I think that the game is working really well on the tablet here, at least. And I have quite a lot of fun with this. But maybe some people don't really want to do this at all. I've heard about some emulators that could run this on the PC. So this is maybe something to look into. I don't really intend to do this because I have this and I feel this works pretty well, but definitely an option there. And for myself personally, I can definitely see myself playing and streaming this when it comes out. For now, I'm going to do it in the next few days because the alpha is running. I want to, get my hands on it. I want to produce some content for it. And I think that it's going to be quite fun. Am I going to make this my main game when it comes out? Yeah, I'll probably blast it for a while and then we'll see how much content it has, how much I will enjoy it. For now, it's pretty cool to see something new in the Diablo universe, especially since we're still waiting for Diablo 4. And you can definitely expect some content from me, but it will not be my main focus all the time. So there's still Diablo 3, there's still other games that I want to play. And this is gonna be it. So I hope you enjoyed this video here. Drop a comment or a like, and then stay tuned for more stuff. So see you guys next time.